Hello, welcome. Good to be with you. Lovely to be back in the hot seat. Obviously, Clyde has a few other commitments leading into the Betway Summer Cup, so it's great to get the opportunity back to be in the hot seat, and a special guest all the way from Cape Town, who I will introduce in just a moment. I do want to remind all the viewers out there that you can find the Weighted to Win team on various different social media platforms. Today, we make a trip to KwaZulu-Natal. We got 8 races on the turf at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and we'll jump straight into it in just a moment. What I do want to do is introduce a very special guest. I know there's been many punters wanting to get him onto the screens, and Darren Burrows has come to join me. Darren, all the way from the Western Cape, good to see you. I know that you took the early flight out. You've been super excited to come and join us in studio, so welcome.
Thank you very much. I've been excited, also a bit nervous. I've never been in studio before, but this is a first time, and I'm also attending the Summer Cup draw this evening. Also, thanks to the Weighted to Win and Betway team for inviting me up here on this special occasion. And to the viewers and punters out there that follow the Weighted to Win team, I just want to thank you guys. We put a lot of hard work in. We are professionals. And Daryl's more of an exotics type person. I like my straight bets and my exotics. So, yes, let's work together, and I'm sure we'll have a good festive season.
All right, yeah, so we're going to dive into it. Darren, let's jump into the first race. The 8-horse Nelly Melba's at 22-10, the first timer. Richard Fourie gets the ride for Peter Muscat. The 4 Jane's Vision at 7-2 and at 6-1 in bets are those. What do you like in the first race? You heard anything about the first timer?
I heard whispers about the first timer. Nelly Melba, that's a very good family. That Touch of Tuscan, that Grey family, they could all run. A lot of speed in the pedigree. I think this horse is going to run well. Head Girl, I think it's going to suit her running style, the Greyville circuit. And then a horse like Jane's Vision, that form line of her last start really worked out well, and she's drawn well. There's been 4 from 7 winners in that last run, and Skytrix of the rest. So the first timer, number 8 over the 4 and 5.
All right, yeah, beautiful. There we go. We've heard from Darren. Lovely to have him all the way in the Kyalami studios. Let's jump into those graphics. Let's see what the guys are advising. What do we do in race number 1? We'll obviously need to get the lowdown from the presenters in KwaZulu-Natal about Nelly Melba. There's been quite a bit of support around. Darren Burrows has been kind enough to give us a bar pot. He's going 2, 4, 5 and 8 in leg 1, by 3, 4 and 7, by Banker 8, by 1, 2 and 8, by 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 and Banker 7 at the back. That'll cost you 180 Rand, and the first race goes off at 25 minutes past 12. So this is where the place accumulator starts, race number 2, and I see the favourite here, well supported now, 14-10, Pirate Prince. Richard Fourie gets the ride for Alison Wright. Number 3, Adabars at 5-2, the 6 Dancer Milords at 13-2, and at 7-1 in better those. I'm going to go to Darren Burrows, who by now you'll know has joined us in studio. Darren, looks to be a great race on paper. Obviously this horse, a very nice horse, Pirate Prince. Looks to be a little ATM machine. We know that Royal Victory, there's 1 or 2 talks around town, might be going for the Betway Summer Cup, so that should be good enough form.
That is good form, you know. Pirate Prince, he's consistent. He's just improving with racing. And I thought he could be the horse to beat, but don't ignore Adabar, because he couldn't get to the front in his last start, and he likes to dictate at his own fractions. So Adabar and Pirate Prince got to go in. Then there's another runner called Cape Town Beauty. Now this filly is 5.5 kilos better off with Pirate Prince and Adabar on that Royal Victory start. She dropped from a 101 to a 91 in one start. So she's got to come into the race with a chance.
Yeah, look, I think, Pirate Prince, you have to think that that last run was obviously good enough to see him go very close. The services of Richard Fourie, always a big plus. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to pop up those selections. I'm going to let Darren take you through his PA. Darren, perhaps you can tell us over here, or tell the viewers out there what you're doing in this PA, which starts now in race 2.
Well, I'm hoping to double up or treble up in the first leg. So 3, 4 and 7 by Confident Banker Flagman in the second, by 1, 2 and 8, by 2, 4, 6, 9. Then I'm bankering Princess Ozma, a confident selection, by 1, 2, 3, 5 and 9, by 2 and 6. 360 Rand will give you a full unit.
You know by now what I call this bet, the big one of the afternoon, the bet we all want to catch, the pick six. And I think we can start with a potential banker. I'm hoping that Darren can give us all the confidence we need. 9 to 20 now, number 8 Flagman. Richard Fourie gets the ride. Number 1 Power Stars at 9 to 2, at 6 to 1 and better those. Let's go over to the man of the moment, Darren Burrows. Let's see what he can tell us. Darren, you're very upbeat. I remember we spoke a long way from the airport all the way to the studio this morning, and you said, boys, one horse this afternoon. I know restrictive odds, but almost impossible to beat his Flagman.
Yeah, Brandon, he looks an absolute 5-star bet in this company. I mean, when you look at the second favorite, Power Star, he's had 21 runs in the maiden. He's exposed, where Flagman ran 5th on debut running on and ran 2nd over the mile last time out, running on strongly at the finish. He's only had the 2 starts. Richard Fourie in the saddle once again, and he looks an absolute penalty kick on form alone. We know how racing can be at times, but Flagman the horse to beat, and a banker in the pick six.
Short and sweet, you've heard it. 3 winners from that last form line, which is great. Will be very hard to beat. He looks to have that come-on look, and we're going to start this pick six with a banker. Let's put those selections up. Let's see what we're doing. What are we going to do in that pick six? I certainly think we can catch it this afternoon. Darren, you're quite confident, so we're going to banker number 8 in the first leg, and then after that, we maybe go a bit wide with a nice banker in leg 4 being number 7.
Yes, that's a very confident selection of mine, Princess Ozma, a bit later. And for the double players, I know a lot of you out there like your doubles. Take Flagman into Princess Ozma. You get 4 to 1, 9 to 2, and have a couple of hundred on there too.
So we go to the first jackpot. It starts now in race number 4. I'm going to call up the market quickly and see what's happening. Remember, this is subject to change. Just keep watching the market right up until post time. This is a pre-recorded show. Number 2, Silky Jets at 28 to 10. Number 1, Ambitious Lady at 9 to 2. 8, Fairy Trip at 5 to 1. And you're getting 8 to 1 and better those. Okay, so I'm going to go to Darren. Let's see if he can give us some confidence. Darren, this horse, Silky Jet, ran a lovely race on debut. I see 28 to 10 in the market. Gavin Larena gets the ride. Is this the horse they all need to beat?
Very difficult to say, because Silky Jet ran a fair debut, but if you saw the 4th horse right on her heels, it was Sea of Tears, who's very exposed and average. So that is a concern, but she can only improve on that debut. Then you've got Ambitious Lady. Now this filly catches my eye with a big chance here. She ran 5th to Minogue in her second start, running on from the back end of the field, and Minogue's come out to frank the form. She steps up in trip from a 1 draw, so I would include 1 and 2, and then Fairy Trip, consistent form, she's the best of the rest.
You talk about Fairy Trip. I mean, what a run Sandy Arundel and Eugene are having at the moment. Darren, you obviously know them very well. They were kind enough to obviously give you a big opportunity in one of their lovely horses, which I'm sure will get it right any moment now. But, I mean, wonderful people and good for the game.
Very good for the game. Sandy's a lovely person. I'm yet to meet her in person. I've spoken to her over the phone. A lovely human being, and she does a lot for racing.
Yeah, we need to make that happen in Cape Town. Sandy, you need to meet us. I haven't met you either, so we'll be coming to find you either at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth or at Hollywood Bets Durbanville. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing. There's the jackpot up on your screen. Darren Burrows going 1, 2 and 8 by 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Banker 7, that will be Princess Ozma a bit later on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9. 126 Rand will give you a full unit. So let's move along to race number 5. Now, this is where the second jackpot will get underway. And I see the favourites over here as number 4, Porfirio, at 5 to 2. It's Gavin Larena for Com Naidu. Number 5, Brave Voyager at 15 to 4. The 9, Thunder Masalas at 4 to 1. And it's 7 to 1 and better those. Let's go to Darren. Let's see what he can tell us in what looks to be a trappy race. Darren, this horse Porfirio's done nothing wrong. Brave Voyager. I remember doing my absolute life on Brave Voyager a few runs back. But I mean, also a horse that's so consistent.
Brandon, I got to agree with you. I gave up on Brave Voyager a couple of runs back after he disappointed at short odds. I thought the horse to beat probably Porphyria. Last time out, he didn't have the best of passages, and he was traveling a bit deep, but he still stayed on at the finish, suggesting he's not on a mark too high. He can follow up. Then you've got a horse like Master to Be. He's got the ability to win a race of this nature if everything goes his way. Now, Giambattista is stepping up in trip to the mile. He's run a couple of times over the mile. He's placed on all those occasions, and he could be another one to consider. Of the rest, Thunder Masala, not striding out last time it said, but he was only beaten 0.56 of a length. And Richard Fourie takes the ride. So I think this is one of the more open races on the card.
I must agree. I think it's one of those races where we're either going to follow Porphyrio or we're going to have to go quite wide in hope that Porphyrio gets some luck. As Darren did say to the viewers now, there was no luck for Porphyrio last time. So perhaps we'll watch Gavin Larena closely over here for Comnaidu. All right, so let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, Darren, I'm going to let you explain to the viewers how you've structured this jackpot. It's Jackpot 2, so if you go onto the new tab4racing.com app, you'll be able to go and structure it. The Banker 7, that'll be Princess Ozma, is that right?
Yes, I'm confident that she'll win today. I think she's off the right mark, right distance. Richard Fourie in the saddle. If you want to play wider in the first leg, just include number 5, Brave Voyager. I didn't include him, but he has got a chance. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 in the third leg, and then 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. It'll cost you 250 Rand excluding Brave Voyager.
Five to 2, Princess Ozma. A horse that has got the ability, just needs to put it all together. I think has found the perfect race as Tony Riverland for Princess Ozma. Richard Fourie finds himself riding this favourite at 5 to 2. 3 drive-bys at 6 to 1. The 4 Pour Some Sugar on Me at 13 to 2. And at 7 to 1 in better those. All right, Darren, we've spoken at length. This is your value play, I'd imagine. 5 to 2. You couldn't believe the price. Comes back in trip. Is this going to be the key?
Definitely. Brandon, this filly is overdue now. Do you remember when she debuted at Scottsville and she won first time out and everyone said this is a really top filly? And then she ran unplaced in the Strelitzia, beaten 5 lengths. She then went into the Alan Robertson Fillies Championship where she pulled out the race. I wouldn't say too outclassed. Maybe something went amiss that day. And then she sort of lost her way, ran a good race, bad race, good race, bad race. And I just feel that the 1400 meter trip is probably an ideal distance for her because she bounced back to best last time out over the mile. And I think she went to the front and she just got collared late. And I think the 14 Greyville, Richard Fourie, I believe she'll get her head in front this time around.
Darren, if I can just pick your brain quickly, I do know that obviously you're a big fan of this individual. Last time out, I mean, would you just say the mile was just too far? What's the story there?
I think so. She did have her own fractions up front. She wasn't going too hard, but I think she was just under pressure the final 100 meters of the race. So I think the drop back to 1400, she's going to race handy, and I think she'll give more of a finishing burst over the 1400.
So are you advising, before we do wrap this segment up, are you saying we can have a bet at 5 to 2?
Yes, I do believe so. If you have 250 Rand left in your accounts, put the whole 250 down and take your family for a nice dinner tonight.
Beautiful. That's what we want. We want that confidence. We here as punters, we can't back 10 horses in a race. So he's told us, take the family for dinner and go and back Princess Ozma. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what Darren's telling us to do. Well, he's going to go and take the 250 Rand and go and back this individual. I'd imagine going to shorten up closer to race time. I think by now, hopefully, Richard Fourie's had a good few winners already. Okay, so race 6. What's the off time? 15:25. Get involved. It is over 1400 meters.